right. Given the near 50-50 split in the polls right now, you would think that the voters are still trying to wrap their heads around the plans of each candidate want to get back into the White House. Let's get the read on all of that with Phil Wegmann, who might have an advantage right now because Phil, who's the Real Clear Politics White House reporter, they're both so tight in these polls. What do you think?
They really are. And I think what we're seeing right now is almost a mirror image, perhaps, of 2016. At this point, Hillary Clinton led Donald Trump by about 4 points. Right now, Harris is above Donald Trump by 2. The difference is that Harris really seems to be willing to run an underdog race, to go to the states that Clinton didn't, like Wisconsin and Michigan. And I think that, we're going to find out in a couple of weeks, once a lot of the noise is out of the polling data, what the actual effect of this first meeting, this first debate between former President Trump and Vice President Harris is. As of right now, though, this thing's going to be a barn burner. And I think that, we might end up having a photo finish.
If there is no other debate, Phil, it doesn't look like there will. It sounded like Donald Trump hinted at the possibility of one, but it looks unlikely. Who does it hurt more?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. We saw Harris campaign immediately come out saying that they were ready for a second debate. And then what does Donald Trump do? He goes into the spin room and he tells Sean Hannity that if you're a prize fighter and you just won, you don't want another fight. I think that we might see a bit of change here. Certainly, Trump has changed his tune when it comes to debates previously. And perhaps if, the poll numbers go too far in one direction for him, then he might be more willing to actually get back on stage with her. But as of right now, as I plan out my schedule and look at my reporter's notebook, I'm looking to the vice presidential debate between Governor Walz and Senator Vance for some of these answers on policy questions, because that might be the last chance that we get, on October 1st to actually have, both campaigns really be forced to defend their records and give clarity to straightforward questions.
There's a back and forth, not only in the debate, but, Donald Trump refers to these polls that say he won. Of course, the most conventional ones say quite the opposite. But that and his association with some, not quite normal characters have some wondering whether the president is listening to all the wrong people. I don't know what truth or credibility you put in that, but is he just doing his own thing, and is he pushing his own, points? And he can rightly come back and say, well, I won doing this in 2016. He still insists he won doing it in 2020. What is going on in Team Trump right now?
Right. I think you're referring to Laura Loomer being on the plane with former President Trump on his way to the 9/11 ceremony. And one thing that I've been struck by in all of this is that if you go back to the Republican primary, we heard again and again that Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita were running a very disciplined campaign. And they were. I mean, the Trump campaign even had a plan to remove snow in Iowa. They had this down to a science. They were very, very disciplined. We've seen some of that discipline slip in the time since. And there are, unforced errors. For instance, whenever reporters are asking questions about a conspiracy theorist, that does nothing to tell a swing voter that their life's going to be better during the next 4 years. So I'm not entirely certain, who's driving this other than the former president himself.
Real quickly to Kamala Harris. I mean, she did conduct an interview with a local Philadelphia, Pennsylvania reporter, touche to that, but a lot of people say it's going to be a lot more and a lot tougher inquisitors. What if that never happened? She's doing pretty well not doing that.
Yeah, if you're the Harris campaign right now, you have the energy, you have the money advantage, and certainly you have momentum. It's not runaway momentum just yet, but you have all of that without sitting down with the press, without being grilled. Why would you change course when the honeymoon is continuing?
Got it. Phil, thanks for coming in Saturday, my friend. Always great catching up with you. Phil Wegmann, Real Clear Politics White House reporter.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.